What's up, world? My name is Zion and I'm a Christian hip-hop artist from Savannah, Georgia. I would like to invite you to travel with me on this brief journey called my life. Come on. Born Harold Edwards Jr. to Mr. and Mrs. Harold Edwards Sr. in 1977, December the 22nd. Basically raised as a normal kid on the west side of Savannah, active in my community, participated and competed in sports, football, baseball, basketball. It was our family tradition to attend church on Sunday, so as a young man, I was carried to church by my mother. Because of the hypocrisy that was laid before me, the whole Christianity and church thing just never really affected me. Despite the life that my mother and father lived, that was lives basically opposite of the Bible, we still went to church. You know, and as a young man I went because I had to, but the whole Christianity thing and the whole, you know, church scene just never really gripped me. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a game. People shaking and jumping and falling out supposedly, and you know what I'm saying, these are the same people when church is over. You know what I'm saying? They drinking, smoking, cussing right there on the church lawn. So I just saw it as a big, you know, I guess a big game. It was just so much hypocrisy laid before me. By the time I was 13 years old, I basically found myself straying away from the morals that was instilled in me as a young man. Found myself addicted to pornography. I become sexually active. What was so crazy about this lifestyle that I had grown to love, I found myself doing things that as a young man I had vowed never to do. For this one reason, things that I saw my father participate in basically almost destroyed his life and our family. Little did I know that this was just the beginning of my downward spiral into a sinful lifestyle. By the time I was 16 years old, my life as a young man just was totally out of control. I found myself smoking marijuana, drinking, gambling, having sex with multiple young ladies, getting around people who I know got guns on them, dope in their pockets, doing any and everything that I was big enough to do. Participating in a lot of different things that as a young man I had made several vows to myself never to get involved with. It's crazy. I found myself doing the same thing. Looking back on it, man, I just realized it was nothing but the mercy and the grace of God that kept me. However, at 16 years old, I found myself doing it and loving it while I did it. On October 1996, I'm at my grandmother's house one night in the midst of a conversation that was going on about the Lord in my midst. The best way I can describe it, it was as if suddenly scales fell from my eyes. The very life that I was living as a young man at the age of 18 years old, the music, the women, the sex, the drugs, the violence, getting high, kicking it with my homeboys, the life that I formerly loved, the life that I had relished, the life that I was living and basically lived for the first time in my life, I saw as being wicked, vile, and detestable in the eyesight of a holy God. This Jesus that I had heard about all my life, for the first time, I really saw him with the eye of my heart. And I saw him, and the sight of him was so glorious. And at 18 years old, I wanted to have a relationship with him. I didn't want that lifestyle no more. And on that night, I was gloriously born again by the power of God. Fast forward up until present day, a whole lot has happened in my life. I'm a gospel recording artist. I am the husband of one, Trinice Edwards, the father of 2 young boys, Zaire and Zayden, an inspirational speaker and preacher who travels the world internationally, sharing my testimony with thousands, with my message of hope. I'm a pastor here at Christ Centered Reformed Ministries in Savannah, Georgia. I stand firm upon this foundation that although your beginning might be little, it might be dark, it might be, you know, limited, your future in Christ can be very bright. And one thing I want to leave with you, and my life is a living testimony that with God all things are possible. God bless you. Thank you for listening.
Check it, I'm in this clearly for the King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
Into sinful debauchery, a sinful in the
Until the spirit gets through to you, and I understand that we're just clay in the potter's handcrafted. I won't apologize for who I am.
Keep it going. Keep moving. And I had the whole block laid down out here. Folks, Jack boys,
thinking they're heaven bound. That includes pastors, musicians, lay members who trusting in the fact one time they said a prayer, but they live like